All right, so Jujutsu Kaisen. Today, let's cover chapters 264 and 265. Right, let's just jump straight into it. The gauntlet in which we thought was over, when Angel showed up and was going to land that Jacob's ladder. I literally cannot make this up. Sukuna climbed the ladder. Like, there's no other way for me to describe what happened other than Sukuna climbed the ladder. So Sukuna's still going strong. And just when you saw that happen, just tell me about when you read that, what reaction did you have seeing Sukuna, Matt and Jeff Hardy the ladder?
To be honest, I was just like disappointed with the fact that, I understand, Angel's she lost an arm. The explanation was it wasn't as potent, but still, man, for her to do it at full potency and for it to not necessarily do that much damage to Sukuna, for him to kind of hit rocks and just start leaping on him one by one as a ladder to kind of black flash and knock, Toto away as well as Angel out of commission. It was, to me, it was kind of ridiculous. It was kind of like, okay, when is this gonna end? Like, when are we gonna kind of, have Sukuna lose? Or because at this point, it's either he wipes out everyone or he loses. All this, constant him, oh, he's gonna get wiped out by Angel's technique, or now, okay, it's back and forth. It's kind of getting ridiculous at this point. I was kind of disappointed, if you ask me.
Yeah, one thing I keep speaking about, because I'm getting kind of concerned and a bit nervous here. Like, what if we don't get the merger? Like, what if, the merger doesn't happen in the story? Does it feel like a big letdown, like that was built up and nothing came from it?
Yeah, it will be a huge letdown because it's like the merger has been discussed, for as a big thing, mysterious event for most of the story, well, mainly the second ladder of the half of the story. So I'll be very disappointed. Very. I'm not gonna lie, it will, for me, the rating for JJK will plummet for me.
Yeah, and this was and obviously I am no manga writer, right? So don't even begin to get this confused. Like I'm trying to tell Gege how to write his own story. But this is kind of why I had that feeling. Why I was looking for Gojo to beat Sukuna and Gojo to be like out of commission, like those guys cancel each other out. And then for Kenjaku's plot to kind of unfold and Kenjaku to be the mastermind, because I thought we would have got more story there than this, which kind of feels like Mortal Kombat, right? Where boom, you defeat one villain, you go to the next floor, which kind of feels like what Sukuna's doing, right? But I'm hoping there's more story to come. Because right now it's just like a constant back and forth of Sukuna versus this person, Sukuna versus that person. Okay, this person's tagged back in, they're healed now, but I feel like the story has been they gave us some background stuff, some excellent stuff, right? And I just feel like, are we not going to get more about that? The Yuji background, right? How about Yuta being confused about how Kenjaku's technique worked? Obviously, the merger, what we mentioned before, these things, and it just feels like, are we not going to get these topics fleshed out? And it's starting to feel that way to me. Like, hey, there's going to be some major questions left, and this thing's just going to end. So that's been super concerning for me. I'm going to go on the record again saying, yo, Toto is very impressive. I know I was arguing, hey, Chozo, better big brother, probably beats Toto in a 1v1. He probably does not beat this version of Toto in a 1v1. I'm still going to say he's the better big brother, though, but he probably does not beat this version of Toto in a 1v1. I can concede defeat when it happens, you know what I mean? But, fast forwarding into chapter 265 really takes a change of pace, and I'm seeing various views. Some people say it's the most beautiful chapter they see. They loved it. Some people are like, this is really slow. It's not really my thing. So when you read that chapter, what was your immediate reaction to that chapter?
I want to say, initially, right? Because 264 ends, with a cliffhanger. Yuji opens up his domain expansion. We enter 265, and it looks like, Sukuna's at the train station with Yuji. I know people speculating it was like a death sequence for Sukuna, but of course, Gege would never allow that. So it was interesting because it discussed an important topic or an important theme, which is humanity in this chapter, right? And I think Yuji was trying to take a page out of Naruto's book and trying to, talk
Don't know
Sukuna.
jutsu.
Yeah, talk no jutsu, talk Sukuna into understanding people's experiences, understanding humans or humanity, right? I am glad, of course, that, obviously it wouldn't work, right? Because Sukuna ends up stating that he feels nothing. And I felt like it was kind of a waste of time for a whole chapter to be dedicated to Yuji trying to get through to Sukuna. And then he ends with a bombshell stating, hey, let Megami go because I can basically kill you at any given moment, and return back to me, which frustrates Sukuna. And Sukuna's like, you know what? I'm gonna murder everyone in front of you,
Yeah.
So it kind of was like all that to get to that point. I feel like that could have been consolidated into like five, 6 pages, to be honest with you. I feel like, to me, I don't see what people, I think there's, for me as a huge anime fan that's watched countless animes, read countless mangas, there's nothing really beautiful about this chapter, in my honest opinion. I just felt like it was more so filler to kind of, get the conversation, to change of pace. But yeah, I didn't feel anything. Sukuna's voice.
I feel like if we needed filler, they could have just gave us the Hikari fight, right? If that's even still happening, right?
Right.
But I actually enjoyed this chapter because it still plays on Yuji's overall abilities, right? Which seems to have always revolved around the soul, right? And he's trying to like get through to Sukuna's soul and kind of giving Sukuna a look into his soul. And what I liked about the chapter as well too is maybe small little thing here, but when you look at Sukuna's appearance, right? It's not the Heian era looking Sukuna with the forearms. It's the Sukuna that resembles Yuji. It's almost like telling us that, like, yo, these guys are really one and the same, right? They're two sides of the same coin, right? Even though they have different views, different perspectives, but it's almost telling us, like, yo, these guys are really like attached to one another in some form of an aspect. So I thought that was pretty interesting, and like that's the look that we got from Sukuna. But what I appreciate about Sukuna is his consistency as a villain, right? He's not going to do the Vegeta. He's not going to do a 180 and say, hey, you've changed my outlook. I'm now a good person. I'm gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's consistent. Like, I feel nothing. Like, I'm just here to crash out 24/7. That's the only reason I'm here is to crash out. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and if you think you're gonna stop me, I'm gonna crash out in front of you. You know what I mean? So I appreciate the consistency from Sukuna, but the I'm interested to see how far Yuji has really come, because he's just like chilling. He's just like, bro, I can take you out at any moment that I feel like. And Sukuna's like, because Sukuna caught it for a second. He's like, are you having pity on me? Like, me? You have pity on me? And I don't think anyone's ever felt that. Sukuna's ever felt that feeling before. Like someone's pitying him. So I'm just like, man, how strong is Yuji for Yuji to have that confidence, right? It could be miscalculation, right? But
would be very disappointed if it is, because you talk like that, you say that, and you don't, at the very least, put them on death's door. Don't, bro. I don't want to hear nothing. That's gonna be another. I'm gonna go right to Yelp and give my review immediately, because you cannot be using these words lightly, and it comes out to being nothing. So
right.
I'm really curious to see what happens next chapter.
Yeah.
Let's see what Yuji can do, because if he's just talking like that and then it ends up being nothing, it's kind of like, come on, you wasting our time again. Just get to the point. And I feel like this is, I don't know, I feel like reading these chapters week by week is getting to a point where it's like you just put us through the revolving door, like you're prolonging this battle. After the Gojo Sukuna fight, Hikari, Sukuna went to his hand form and started the battle. We were good up until that point, but now you're dragging it.
Yeah. Agreed. So I think we're all, obviously we're all waiting to see what comes next. I At this point I don't really have a prediction, because, like I said, if Yuji, who I think is gonna be the one to land the final blow on Sukuna, right? It's just a matter of when. If he does it now, all the things I just mentioned that I don't think we're getting, and I don't think we get those things. So it's like, I'm very confused. You know what I'm saying? Because I just think we were given such great details in the story. And I'm just, like I said, I'm nervous that we're not going to get those fleshed out. So it's just a matter of when Yuji's going to land this final blow. Not saying that like, yo, he's going to do it at will, but I just think the story is going to give him the W. You know what I mean? But
yeah, I think something's gonna happen though. Like even after if Sukuna dies, something for sure is gonna happen. Whether it's the
yeah,
merger, I do still feel like the merger's still gonna happen. I think there's a twist coming
okay.
somehow, some shape, some form. There's definitely a twist, something greater. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see. So make sure you jump in the comment section. Tell us your best theories or the theories that you've been seeing that really makes a lot of sense to you. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Got some interesting videos coming outside of some JJK stuff. So stay tuned. You'll see those drop shortly. And we out. Till next time.